On a very cold winter day, a kind man who loves helping animals went out to look for any cats that might be in trouble. The weather was freezing and snow was falling everywhere. Most people were staying inside their warm houses because the cold was too much to handle. The streets were empty and quiet because nobody wanted to be outside in such terrible weather conditions. The man wrapped himself in thick warm clothes and put on his boots to walk through the snow-covered neighborhood. He had been helping animals for many years and knew that cold weather like this was very dangerous for cats and other animals living on the streets. Many animals get sick or even die when they cannot find warm places to stay during winter. The man always felt worried about street animals during cold seasons, so he made it his habit to go out and check on them regularly. Today felt especially important because the weather was colder than usual. As he walked slowly along the empty roads, looking carefully at every corner and hiding place, he spotted two small kittens lying on the roadside near some old boxes. The kittens were not moving much and looked like they were sleeping peacefully, but something about their stillness worried the man deeply. He had been rescuing animals for many years, so he could tell when something was wrong with an animal just by looking at them. These kittens seemed too quiet and still for healthy baby cats. The man approached the kittens very carefully and gently touched their small bodies. They were extremely cold and their breathing was very slow and weak. Their tiny bodies were pressed together, trying to share whatever little warmth they had left. He could see that they were very young, probably only a few weeks old. Baby kittens this young cannot survive long in freezing weather without their mother to keep them warm, feed them milk, and protect them from danger. The man very carefully picked up both kittens and held them close against his warm body under his coat. He could feel just how cold, thin, and fragile they were. Their little bodies felt like ice, and they barely had any energy left to move. The man knew that he needed to get them somewhere warm as quickly as possible. He also planned to take them to the vet the next day to get them properly checked and treated by a professional who could help them recover completely. But first, before leaving the area, he wanted to search around more carefully to see if there were any other cats from the same family that might also need his help. His many years of experience with animal rescue had taught him that where there are baby kittens, there are often more family members somewhere nearby. He did not want to leave any animal behind who might be suffering in this terrible cold weather. As he was holding the two weak kittens close to his body to keep them warm and thinking about what to do next, he suddenly heard some very soft crying sounds coming from somewhere close by. The sounds were extremely quiet and hard to hear, but the man had developed very good hearing from years and years of listening carefully for animals in distress and trouble. These crying sounds definitely came from cats who needed help urgently. He followed the sad crying sounds very carefully and slowly, trying to figure out exactly where they were coming from without making any noise that might scare the animals away. The crying seemed to be coming from behind some old buildings where there were many hiding places for small animals. The man moved very quietly because he knew that scared animals often run away when they hear people coming near them. When he finally got close enough to the source of the crying sounds, he made an absolutely amazing and wonderful discovery that filled his heart with both joy and sadness. Hidden behind a crumbling old wall, sitting inside a small, broken clay pot, was a skinny mother cat with another tiny kitten pressed against her side. The clay pot was their only shelter and protection from the harsh winter weather, but it was clearly not a good or safe place for them to live in such conditions. The man always made sure to carry different types of food with him whenever he went out to help animals in need. He very slowly and carefully took out a creamy treat from his rescue bag and offered it gently to the mother cat and her tiny kitten. He moved extremely slowly and spoke in a very soft, gentle voice because he did not want to scare them any more than they already were. Scared animals can easily panic and run away, which would make helping them much more difficult. However, when he offered the creamy treat, the mother cat and her kitten did not seem interested in eating it at all. They looked at the food but did not come closer or try to eat any of it. This behavior is actually quite common and normal when animals are extremely scared, stressed, and hungry. Sometimes when animals have been living in terrible conditions for a long time, they become very afraid to try new foods, especially when the food is being offered by people they do not know or trust yet. The man completely understood this cautious behavior because he had seen it happen many times before during his years of rescue work with frightened animals. He knew that scared and traumatized animals need extra time, patience, and gentle treatment to learn to trust new people who want to help them. Building trust with frightened animals is always a slow process that cannot be rushed or forced, so the man patiently got some different food from his bag, regular cat food that had a more familiar smell that cats usually recognize and feel comfortable eating. This particular food was specially made to have all the important vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that cats need to get their strength back and recover from malnutrition and illness. The smell of this food was much more appealing and familiar to cats than the creamy treat had been. When he offered them this proper and nutritious meal, their behavior and attitude changed completely and dramatically. Both the mother cat and her tiny kitten immediately started eating the food with great enthusiasm and hunger. They ate very quickly and desperately, showing clearly just how many days or weeks it had been since their last proper meal. The man felt happy and relieved to see them finally eating because he knew that getting good nutrition was the first important step in helping them recover their health and strength. While the cats were busy eating their much-needed meal, the man noticed that they were gradually looking at him with less fear and suspicion, and more curiosity and cautious trust. This was a very good sign that meant they were beginning to understand that he was there to help them, not to hurt them. The mother cat even made a few very soft purring sounds while she ate, which showed that she was starting to feel a little bit safer and more comfortable. After both cats had completely finished eating their entire meal and seemed satisfied and a little stronger, the man knew in his heart that all of these cats desperately needed a warm, safe, and secure place to stay where they would be protected from the dangerous cold weather and have regular meals every day. He made the decision to take the mother cat and all 3 of her kittens to his own home, where they would have everything they needed to recover and grow strong. His house had plenty of space for them, and he had many years of experience taking care of rescued animals who needed special attention and care. He also made plans to take all of them to see a professional vet within the next few days to make sure they were completely healthy and to get any medical treatment they might need. Sometimes animals who have been living on the streets for a long time have health problems that need special medicine or treatment to fix properly. The first kitten was now feeling much better and stronger after spending time in the warm house with proper food and care. The man and his friend had given the little kitten some nutritious food and prepared a soft, comfortable blanket for it to sleep on. The tiny kitten was no longer shivering from cold and weakness like it had been when first found on the street. It was even starting to move around a little bit more and show some interest in playing, which were very good signs of recovery. Now that all the cats were finally together in the safety and warmth of the house, the mother cat felt enormous relief and happiness to see that all of her precious babies were alive, safe, and healthy. She could finally stop worrying constantly about finding food for them, or keeping them warm in the dangerous cold weather outside. For the first time in a very long time, she could truly relax and focus on simply being a loving mother to her kittens. The man and his friend prepared a very comfortable area specifically for the cat family, complete with multiple soft blankets, some small toys for the kittens to play with as they grew stronger, food and water bowls that were always kept full, and a warm, quiet space where the mother cat could rest and nurse her babies without any disturbances or stress. This house became the permanent new home for this rescued cat family. They now had consistently warm places to sleep every night, regular nutritious meals provided every single day, and caring people who genuinely loved them and wanted to see them healthy and happy. The mother cat started to trust her new human family more and more with each passing day, and her natural personality began to emerge as she felt safer and more secure. Her kittens also began to play, explore their new surroundings, and grow bigger and stronger each day, showing clear signs that they were recovering well from their difficult start in life. The man felt incredibly happy and fulfilled, knowing that his decision to go out in the cold weather that day had resulted in saving an entire family of cats from what could have been a very tragic ending to their story.